Tonight, the Republican plan to kill Obamacare flatlining. The president and Paul Ryan scrambling to save it after a day that started with signs of life. At 11:30 this morning, members of the conservative Freedom Caucus, most of them holdouts, arriving at the White House to hear the president's personal pitch that started with a standing ovation, as one White House staffer tweeted, and a compromise on the table. A deal to cut back essential health benefits, which, under Obamacare, made insurers cover things like maternity, mental health care, and emergency room visits. Some conservatives, who want prices to be lower and government to be less involved, say removing those benefits gives people more choice.
Fundamentally, it doesn't work in the long term because while men don't get pregnant, women don't get prostate cancer. The system works best when we have a large pool of people, some of whom need some services.
The proposal wasn't enough. The mood turning grim, with one White House source describing the meeting to NBC News as tough. The sticking point? Coverage for pre-existing conditions and kids under 26 staying on their parents' plans, things President Trump promised and won't budge on. By early afternoon, lawmakers were publicly predicting failure.
There are not enough votes as of 1:30 today.
I don't think there can be a vote tonight because they don't have the votes.
Even so, at 2 p.m., the White House was insisting the bill had a positive prognosis.
So there's only Plan A.
Right.
At this point, is there an acknowledgement that perhaps there does need to be a Plan B if this vote doesn't happen tonight?
Plan A.
That's what the president was counting on.
Today, the House is voting.
Except the House wasn't voting. At the very same moment President Trump was holding his healthcare photo op with truckers, the alarm sounding on Capitol Hill. The breakdown coming at 3:30. That's when House Speaker Paul Ryan postponed the vote to repeal and replace Obamacare. 7 years to the day after it was signed into law. The delay, not a defeat, still a serious setback for the millions of Americans looking for clarity on health care and for a president looking for a win.
It's our hope that we'd be voting tomorrow.
Tonight, Republicans will work to resuscitate the bill, with the president dispatching his top aides, Steve Bannon and Reince Priebus, to Capitol Hill.
I am still a no at this time. I'm desperately trying to get to yes, and I think the president knows that.
Even GOP opponents optimistic they can still save it. And tonight, the White House says it's confident this bill will pass, with a vote possible as early as tomorrow morning. But right now, our NBC News count shows more than 30 Republicans would probably vote no, which would doom the bill. All of it as the latest official government estimate shows it would save less money than the original GOP plan. Lester?
Hallie Jackson at the White House, thank you. We want to bring in our political director, the moderator of Meet the Press, Chuck Todd. Chuck, how big a setback is this for the president and Speaker Ryan, and where does this go from here?
Well, it becomes a huge setback if there is no vote tomorrow, as the White House is already promising. If there's no vote through the weekend, then it is a gigantic setback. Look, here's what we saw here, Lester. The president didn't follow his own rules for deal making in the art of the deal. He is the guy that desperately needs the deal. And guess what? House conservatives were willing to call his bluff. They were the ones that were willing to walk away. The president here is desperate for a political deal. The people he's negotiating with have problems with the policy. The president wants a win. The conservatives want to shrink the size of government. They cannot get these two positions to somehow come together when you're essentially having two different arguments. One is a political argument and one's a policy argument. But the bigger picture here is, Lester, as hard as it is to get health care through the House, I have no idea how they're going to get this through the Senate, and whatever it takes to get it through the House makes it harder to get through the Senate.
Lots of drama ahead. Chuck Todd, thank you. Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.